Hi guys, today I wanted to do a little quick review on Lackadaisy Cat's pilot because it just came out and it's one of my favorite webcomics ever. So I wanted to say a huge thank you and a shout out to the team for inspiring new artists and making us feel like we can actually, be the industry as indie artists. I wanted to thank you for making this wonderful pilot. Heads up, I've already watched it once with my family. I dragged them along and we watched the whole thing together, but this is my secondary take on it now that I've had some time to digest some things, and to be able to come back to it with a fresh pair of eyes and a new take on the art. So I'm very excited to show it to you. I'll do a little more conversation afterwards as far as some things that I learned off camera, because I did go ahead and watch one of the crew explain kind of how their process was in Lackadaisy, and I'm very excited to go over a few of those things as well. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Honestly, I love that intro.
Old Man River. That seems far too austere a name for something made of mirth and rage. Oh, roiling red blood river vein. If chief among your traits is age, you're a wily, convoluted sage.
The glow is honestly
Is
so
old the thing to
fantastic.
call what rings the vernal heart of Westerlore.
And I like the Art Deco style of everything.
Brassy, myth-made
Like you can
king
see it even in the
with
little details of the bridge. Absolutely phenomenal.
tolerance of bug-type things. To challenge titans come before! Oh, demiurge to a try at Avalon once more. And what a gust vitality in your wide aorta stream. You must have had to oversee alchemic change of timber beam to iron, brick, and engine steam.
So good.
Your umber whiskey waters lends the prideful, sober sovereignty, a faulty haloed temperance, and wilt her self-sure countenance.
And that morph,
Yes, righteousness is
so
vanity.
pretty.
But sports for imps, not elderly. So, if there's a name for migrant mass of veteran frivolity,
And I love that you get Rocky's personality
snakes
right
are
off the bat
seeds of
as
prairie
far as
grass and groves
how
of summer sassafras. A name
kind of
that
daydreamy
flows
he
as
is, you know?
as wild waters, fast and free. It's your true name. Mississippi.
It's abundantly clear you forgot us down here.
Encore? No encore?
Please, no, that's plenty.
We're fine. Should I add a dance? Extra stanzas? There's more where that came from. Please don't ruin musical theater for
Freckles' hair,
I'm not
like,
sure lookouts are
his
supposed
hair
to make
just
such a
flopping
ruckus in
is
here.
so
Why don't
good.
you come down here and grab a shovel?
Alas, Miss Pepper, I was cursed with these spaghetti arms. So, I do what I can. I provide the
And that fall is so pretty. And I love the beautiful little details with the skid. That's beautiful. The little flop every time.
I provide
So
the
nice.
ambiance. Babyface provides the muscle.
He's literally just so
Look at him
precious.
digging his way to martyrdom, little
Freckle is
go-getter.
honestly one of my favorites.
How about a little rhapsody in G minor for company?
Fine. If you're not gonna help us work, you're gonna have to double as the dirt
And
rat.
that little interaction between those two is so good.
I think I found.
Is that it?
Well, if it isn't, we'll have some awkward explaining to do to the family of, Herman Hapfem?
The only thing I could think of during this section was Hamsterville from the old Lilo and Stitch cartoons. Like, it was just, that's all that ran through my head with that.
What was that? Did you hear
All
something?
these unresting spirits, We're trespassing on their
And
turf.
this owl.
But there's naught ye can do about it, ye feisty devils!
I wish my mom was here.
What? Blasphemy! That force of nature, she'd stop us dead.
I know.
Oh, Freckle.
Also, side note, when I first watched this, I did not expect his voice to be that deep, and it was actually a very pleasant surprise for me. Because when I used to read the comic, he's got this tendency to be like a tense, freaked out character. And in my head, for some reason, that's always got like a higher pitched. I think that's kind of the trope that we have in cartoons. But when I watched it and his voice was down a little bit, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I actually like this a ton. And I really like the contrast it gives between Rocky and Freckle. It's so nice to hear kind of like that variation. And to give a character that, normally should have the voice of higher pitched trope, have something a little deeper. I really like that.
Don't tell me you aren't having a good time showing off your shoveling skills for Hotsy Totsy over here.
The eye roll is perfection. And her leap, it gives such good personality.
Gora! Oh, for a moment there, I thought it was your mom.
Does that say Pippin in the back?
Digging up graves, sacrilege, and ass.
Settle down.
Side note, I love his accent.
Spirits are all bottled up. Leave the headlamps off. Can't be too careful.
Right, we've been so discreet up until now.
No! Don't let that get away!
And Ivy's character actually gives me Lucy vibes from my comic, and so I was very excited to see her on screen.
That is my foot. That's not what I meant.
I can't see.
And the blending of 2D and 3D is very well done.
Stop it. You off me. Rocky.
And I've seen my siblings do that before, so... Oh gosh, I love these guys. And that scream, so good. That poor car, man. It's getting absolutely destroyed.
Let's not prolong this. This is a trifling matter.
Gosh, Mordecai.
Other business to tend to.
Yeah, but none of it near as fun as this gonna be.
Can't let the competition go unchecked. Even a little vermin, they got a way of festering. Alon!
I also don't know why, but I absolutely love the swirls in their ears.
Didn't?
Learn to drive!
Well, you're so bad at it, you've confounded the enemy. Nicely done.
The insane car chase is so good.
Now we need a performance from you, Torpedo Boy.
No.
Yes, yes, yes.
No.
Don't be modest.
Love the simmering sound. And the music in this show is so freaking phenomenal. Like, I can't express how much I love the beats.
What the?
I guess this one is the big.
And Nico's so well done. Her laugh, so well done.
Nah, just more glass.
And I love how that scene shows how absolutely insane these two are. It's so good.
Than I expected. But you want to take over driving back there?
No. Especially now that you have alleviated us of our windshield.
Oh, you don't like how we play? How about you stop spectating and throw in, Chef?
Also, on a side note, the fact that freaking Freckle has this moment where you see him go from like, oh, I don't want to desecrate graves, like I wish my mom was here, this whole, and then immediately going to Rocky level of absolutely insane is so polarizing for me. Like, it's just, it feels like a character that has literally just snapped, and it's a perfect intro for him, and I love that. And I appreciate his color scheme, and Rocky's and Ivy's, they kind of triangulate each other really well. They're just very complementary to each other. It makes it feel like a complete little triangle, you know? And Mordecai's always great, because everything he does seems deliberate.
There's no left here.
Use your imagination, Miss Pepper!
Rocky, I can't steer.
I also love that line. Use your imagination. So absolutely insane. Michael Kovac being absolutely fantastic at voice acting, especially for crazy maniacal laughter.
Sorry.
Also, I can't express how much I love the fact that their eyes are always glowing in these sections. It adds a little livelihood to it, and it reminds you that they're cats, and it makes me really happy. Also, I want this background artist on my team. Like, eventually when I create a TV series for my comic, I want this background artist, all of them, on my team, because all of them have done phenomenally in this show. This whole team did so well. Like, everything about it is just so well done, down to like nitty-gritty details that you wouldn't normally think of. Also, every movement from Rocky reminds me of like a squirrel and some sort of eldritch monster combined. It's kind of great.
Oh, the world is full of magic things. I just need a ticket to ride.
Well, I guess that's a gun.
Ooh. And the sound
I'll
design,
draw them away. You start the car.
very well done.
Please.
This is going to take longer if you scatter them.
What happened to you that made you hate fun?
I'll take care of that. Disable the vehicle.
Also, the fact that Mordecai always seems some sort of annoyed is one of my favorite parts.
Raspberries.
Ivy's just so precious. Oh, the composition, gosh dang it. Oh. Another little thing I want to point out is this team took so much time to really hone in on what makes a cat look like a cat, because all these little twitches and all these little nuanced movements that they have are so lifelike and so accurate to the source material that when I was talking with my friend, she was like, yeah, my cat does that, you know, my cat does this, you know. And then seeing the credits having like all the film cats, like, you know how they have film babies, they had film cats at the end, and I thought, like, production cats, and I thought those were so cool, because I was like, oh, I wonder how many of the artists sat and recorded their cat for like hours trying to get motions down, because these are so lifelike and so well done that honestly, hats off to them, because it's so hard to get nuanced animation to look right, and they absolutely nailed it. Like, it's so well done in this entire film. and the clock ticking. Like, being able to hear that, it alludes to something further that we get to learn of. I'm very excited for it. Also that. I don't know why, but it reminds me of the scene from Lilo and Stitch where she goes to open the door to exit out the back, and all of a sudden it's just the aliens right there in front of her, and she's like, ah! And I can't remember who it was at the time. It was either Jamba or it was Gantuk. But basically she opens the door and it's right there, and she slams it in their face, and she goes, they're all over the place, and runs away. Phenomenal. Fantastic acting. Fantastic direction. Like, I want this director on my team when I make them. Like, this director, they did absolutely phenomenal. So well done.
No, 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 no! No!
And this. The most brilliant way to make sure that your enemy is exactly where you want them to be. And the way they did that effect, so well done. That's my favorite line in the entire show.
Circus comes to town. The behemoth and the top hat loud. Come gather all around. See them rain their fire down.
Once again, the acting, very well done. Also, as a sibling, that scene makes me very happy because that's exactly what I would do for my siblings.
What's happening?
And I also love that the red is slightly highlighted. The roll-in from Rocky.
Your whip and chain. But the circus trains a blazing tear. Said the clown with daring air. We'll make our 3 rings anywhere!
This gave me a freaking heart attack when I saw it. I was like, no. And the effects that they put in this are so well done. Like the water and the smoke and the fire and the blasts, like everything, so good. Also, love the little details of Mordecai acting extremely cat-like in moments of distress. Or like any of them, they have these little cat moments that are just so fun to watch. That mud.
Come on, Mudbug! We gotta skedaddle!
Also love the narrowing of the camera. It's so good. It makes you feel like you're zoning in with him, you know?
Are my eyebrows still on?
Yep.
Aces. Here, Freckle. I got you a souvenir. You're supposed to light it first.
Freckle. That shot is beautiful.
Nico! Brother mine, help me up.
Shit, you look disappointed.
Ugh, Nico. So well done.
And though scrutinized and scandalized and troubled in the end,
Her
by the
voice is
pleaded
so well
finances.
fitted to her character.
Familiar story. Miss Duncan leaves behind, moreover, a legacy of consummate artistry and bold innovation. Done in by a scarf. The comic end that makes the tragedy, doesn't it? Speaking of tragedy,
Also, that's so precious. But one of my favorite things about this show is the fact that they kept some of the guidelines, and even I think I read this on Twitter somewhere, but they even added them back in for certain scenes. And I love that because when my dad and I were watching it, we were like, oh my gosh, this is very reminiscent of old Disney films where they used to have like all the really nice pencil drawings underneath. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I actually miss that with a lot of the cleaned up Disney movies nowadays, is when they put them back out, they clean them up, and unfortunately they get rid of a lot of that beautiful draftsmanship. And so when this came out and it still had a lot of the construction lines, I was floored. I was very excited because this was so well done. And then on top of it, it showed the draftsmanship and it reminded you that a whole team of artists went into this and they did these panels hand drawn, panel through panel. And it was a lot of hard work and a lot of effort that they took in order to make these look so good. And I absolutely love that. And I think that more shows should do that. And I know it's a stylistic choice that, some people may not like, or, some people do. I am of the opinion that I want more shows to kind of present people with how much hard work went into this, because it helps you appreciate it more. And especially for certain scenes as an artist, when I break down certain scenes, it helps me a ton to be able to see which ones they needed more frames on and which ones they held more frames on. And in my opinion, it just helps a lot of new artists who are struggling to kind of break down the process of what they're seeing on screen. Because I know when I have those lines, it makes it easier for me to be like, oh, okay, they held this one, or they made this one 3 times, and just really made those drawings super close together in order to make it feel like it was kind of staying put, even though they need some subtle action. And I absolutely love that. I also love the amount of detail that they put into the backgrounds and the props and the characters. Like everything just has so much detail to it, and it's so well done. And the comic is the exact same way. Like if you read the comic, it has so much detail, especially minute details for background or for like foreshadowing for later. Like even the little pieces of paper that they hold, I bet you there's some sort of reference hidden in each and every one of those, just because as an artist, that's what I would do. And it makes me really excited to see kind of the world that they're building for this type of thing. And I'm hoping that we get to like find these little bits and these little Easter eggs, and we get to see what happens with them later. Because I know a lot of stuff is actually pointing towards things that happen in the comic. But unfortunately, I haven't gotten to the end of the comic yet. I'm about 2/3 of the way in. I found it a couple years ago and I absolutely adored it. But I had to take a break from it for a little bit for college. But I tried my best to like keep up with the show as it was being made and as it was being in the kickstarting phase. And the team has done such a phenomenal job. Like I can't sing their praises enough. Like this whole team, I would absolutely hire in a heartbeat in order to make any TV show. Like this is such beautiful artwork and such a beautiful masterpiece as far as an animated TV show / short film / whatever it's going to become. This is phenomenal. I am super duper proud of everyone on this whole team, and I hope that they get so many more gigs that can show off their talents in such a beautifully well-written way as Lackadaisy has.
We got an old supplier back. The funeral home. Still, it's not the same without you.
I also love how light and airy all her
That
movements
feeling
are.
that all of this was ours.
It shows off she's like very ladylike and delicate, but she's
Used
not
to be
like
we could drive a whole convoy of trucks in.
she's not frail. Does that make sense? And that face.
Now we're just digging for scraps.
Honey.
Well, however unbecoming, Atlas. That's my cue. Meet you downstairs.
So well done. And I remember seeing bits and blurbs of all of this as it was coming out, and it was so well
Horatio.
done.
The door, sweetheart.
Oh, right.
This poor child. Gosh dang, he's so good. And being able to make this place, even though it looks very vast and the architecture is beautiful, you can tell that it's run down.
You know?
Zip.
He said, bent over his illicit beverage.
His voice is so
thank
good
goodness, I
too.
wasn't sure you were alive.
Zib! Shouldn't you be up on stage playing?
For who? That guy?
Yes.
How about you, Wick? Shall I serenade you personally?
Once I've had a few more illicit beverages, perhaps.
I suppose I could use one of those.
The little
too.
exchanges throughout this
Victor?
entire thing are so good. Also, Victor is literally my favorite. I love him so freaking much.
Victor, I know it's an adjustment, but the bartender's got to look like someone the patronage can tell their troubles to. More of a confidant, less of a coroner.
I love how
Try smiling, honey.
big and terrifying he is. I also love how he's got this problem of like, I'm
We'll
too
work
big
on
for
it.
my own good, and he like crushes stuff accidentally, but you can see the expression on his face like, did that work? Also, those three trouble triplets, absolutely. JJ is so good too. JJ is
Well, look what
phenomenal.
Mississippi spat up.
Miss Sam, you seem, surprised.
Disappointed.
Rocky, sweetie, you are nothing if not an exhausting, incomprehensible surprise.
Thank you.
This was supposed to be the real McCoy. Let's see if that's the surprise.
Also that pour. I love how they outline them in a lighter color to make it look more light and airy.
Well,
And the bristling.
it'll certainly
Always good.
start your engine.
Which is to say, it beats radiator fluid.
That's also a great
What's
line.
that aftertaste? Crisp, full-bodied, reminiscent of oak wood. Coffin varnish.
Yeah. We can call it Sunset Rose Cocktail.
Victor's voice
Sunset
so
Rose
well done.
cocktail? That sounds good. You have no idea what I went through to get this.
I have very good an idea.
Sophisticated flavor.
So,
Cat noises.
not bad then?
Cool.
This is working.
Getting shot. Still, is this all we got for our money, honey? You look like you took a bath in the red.
Well, I could probably wring some more out of my coat for you. There was a minor incident? Incidences?
The likes of what?
Oh, just some spent ammo and...
Desecrated graves.
Fractured signage, minor flooding, lots of structural damage.
We may have fomented a deadly rivalry on the way, too. But dynamite and heavy machinery are marvelous problem solvers. Old sport!
Dynamite? What dynamite?
And the car is fine.
I fixed it.
Also,
Yep,
you'll be happy to know my violin came through unscathed.
I know you did your best, honey, but we can't keep running ourselves ragged and into the red to bring Omega. What I mean is, I don't see how this...
The facial expressions.
JJ.
I love him.
You know what? I'm glad you and your violin are back, honey. We could all use some music about now. I mean, besides JJ.
All right. Come on, kid. What do you say we go lighten the mood?
About the
Also,
dynamite.
Zib's perpetual
and
lean
machinery.
is so
Can you
well done.
Mr. Sable.
Right. Cheers.
Come on, you owe me a dance.
I do?
Yes, I've decided. You know the Charleston?
No.
The Lindy Hop?
No.
The Roundabout? The Jingle Jangle?
Victor. Deep breaths, buddy.
You just gotta put one foot over there and one over
I
there.
love him. I'm so excited to see more of him. Honestly, like he's worth it. And this is so... Gosh, I don't even have words for it. Like, this part just fills my soul with so much joy. Because you can see her vision, you know, you can see exactly what's in her head for this thing. And it's so well done. So pretty. Gosh, everything is just so well done. And I love the fact that all the credits have some bits and pieces from the actual comic. Like, most of the art is from that section. And I love how they give kind of an old-fashioned feel to a lot of the stuff. Like, especially in these end credit scenes, like, they show, like, the old cellophane pieces that they would do the animation on. And then I love how it shows you what they would do, and then it shows you the actual animation that came of it. And the roughs are so pretty. And then I love how it flips through each of them to kind of show you, like, roughs and cleanup and composition, you know, like, it's really, really well done. Tracy did a fantastic job on it. Like, her vision really, really came to life. It's so good.
Maribel Hotel, manager's office.
Connect me to Mr. Sweet, please. Rather unfortunately, we were sidetracked.
And the composition of that shot and the lighting is so well done.
On the whole, the evening has not gone according to plan.
Let me see if I have this right. Ruthless, infamous hatchet man Mordecai Heller is calling me to ask for a ride.
Yes. However, Mr. Sweet, it seems...
The energy in this scene is immaculate.
It seems we have a more considerable problem at hand.
What, someone mussed your hair? You got some dirt on you?
As a matter of fact, yes. But more to the point, one of our suppliers appears to be double-dealing to stragglers from Lackadaisy, of all things. They're clumsy and likely to draw attention. With the feds in town...
Yeah, that's a real liability.
Yeah.
And I can only stave off so much heat from the higher-ups before this whole city starts smoldering.
Yeah.
Oh, those dragons.
Also, side note, that
Given it some
so
thought,
well done.
It does appear to warrant our attention.
Ugh, and I love the character designs. They did so well on them.
Some loose ends.
That wilting effect. Ugh! Ugh! And the little ember pieces. Also, I love the black and white kind of vibe that they've given for the end credits. So nice. Like, I would watch an entire show of just this type of vibe. And I love the rubber hose animation that they put. So cool. Like, like, while my dad and I were watching this, we sat there, yeah, handmade by artists in their homes across the world in spite of it all. Like, I am, thank you for making this, guys. Like, you did phenomenal. Like, I've never been so excited to watch something in my entire life. Definitely check out their channels, all of them. Like, they are so well done. And, like, everything about it makes it come together as a project, and it really helps it tie it all together and make the dream come to life. And, like, props to you guys. You did absolutely phenomenal of not only creating a world where this type of stuff can thrive, but also for showing indie creators such as myself and many other kids who grew up on your guys' stuff, for showing us that it's possible to make our dreams come true for this type of thing, and just, you know, putting in effort and lots of time and money and like, it's absolutely flooring to me that this project came together, because I think it took 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. It took like 3 years to come together. And my personal experience with this show was the fact that I read the comic so long ago, And then I remember thinking to myself, I was about, oh, I don't remember. I was a couple years into making my own comic. And I think I was page 10 or so into my comic when I found Tracy's webcomic. And I was so excited about it because I was like, wow, not a lot of other people are doing 1920s things right now. And I really want to see kind of the vibe that she set. And, you know, unbeknownst to me, an absolute god at doing all this stuff, because I could not possibly fathom doing the amount of detail for a webtoon that she provides. It's so absolutely insane to me. And then not only that, but then finding out a couple years later that she was going to get greenlit for a pilot due to a Kickstarter, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I've followed this so closely that I feel like I have a personal connection with it. I feel like one of those cheerleaders on the sidelines where I'm like, you know, I'm completely invisible. No one knows I'm here. But like, I am so proud of everyone and everything that they've done in this project, and everything from like previs to backgrounds and lighting and compositing in general, and like animation, roughs and cleanup and coloration, and like every single step of the way it made it into a masterpiece. And even the people that a lot of times audience won't give credit to because they don't realize how many people it takes to make a team, and they've still created such a beautiful mix of absolute passion and absolute skill and talent, and this is just, I can't sing its praises high enough. Like, this is so well done. And I just hope that they know that they're able to do so much and change so much, especially in the art community with this type of thing. Like, this is, I'm speechless. Like, it's phenomenal. And especially for all of you artists out there who are trying your hardest and you don't think that you're good enough, and you're trying desperately to make something that you are very passionate about. It, like your passion project, something you're very loyal to. If you are that type of person and you're trying to make that type of content, please keep going. Please keep going. I started in an area of art that I thought I was just the bottom of the barrel, you know. I got into art late. I didn't actually know that I could do art until like beginning of middle school to end of middle school. It was insane, and I built myself up to where I am now just because I kept being bullheaded and pushing my way through and doing studies and taking advice wherever I could. And it really does help. So don't ever doubt yourself in whether or not you can make a dream happen. If you put enough work and you put enough effort in and you take the time to build your skills, it will come out very well. And especially in this type of scenario, like, you don't have to be the person who does the art. You can hire other people to do it. And if you hire the proper team, if you breed a very kind and exciting work environment that people are very thrilled to get into and to contribute to, that's absolutely a recipe for success, because this film is proof of that. And it makes me so excited. If any of the Lackadaisy team wanted to do a collaboration with me, I would be on the floor. Like, this would, I would take it in an instant, in a heartbeat. I'd be so excited. And I would love to talk to them about kind of their process, or like their thought process behind certain scenes, or like things that they would be able to share, because obviously I know there's a lot they're not allowed to share, but anything that they'd love to share about like kind of how they went through their process, or how they felt that the crew kind of made this environment that was good to grow in. Any of that, I would love to see it. I would love to know exactly what was going on in their heads during this project, because if you can emulate that type of thing, it's the initial jumping off point for something phenomenal. And I desperately believe that we need more indie projects in this world. We need more things like this that can kind of shift where we are as an industry, because things like this are absolutely mind-boggling, and it makes it so that way we are not beholden to anything outside of our creative abilities. It makes it so that way we can actually make what we need to and thrive as a community. And especially with all of the fans of Lackadaisy, I'm so proud, because they came together, they helped a ton, they made sure that stuff like this like thrived, they backed it, they made sure to watch the video. I think at the time that I was watching it had only been out like an hour, and it was like 245k views already. Like, it was insane. My dad sat there and was like, oh my gosh, how did it get so many? I was like, I don't know, but they advertised the heck out of it. I'm here, you're here watching, like everyone's watching, which means they did a really solid job on this entire project for people to be this amped up about it, you know? And I really loved how many times that I go onto like my Twitter timeline or like Instagram or stuff like that. I don't know if I ever saw it on Instagram, but definitely Twitter. And I'd see like bits and blurbs of it. Like the artists would pop out like a little cleanup thing that they did, or a little sketch or a rough or a, you know, whatever. And it just bred this very deep hype for me. Like I have this playlist on YouTube that I keep, and it's called Hype Train, with a bunch of exclamation points. But it's whatever I find that's like an indie project, I'll throw it on that playlist, because whatever I get really excited about, that I'm like, oh, this is going to be a project that's coming out soon, I throw it onto that, and then I come back to it later to double check on it to make sure that it's like still being produced. And this was one of the first things I ever put on that playlist, because it was this and Has Been Hotel, if I'm not mistaken. But those two together made up that entire playlist for quite a while, and then other things started filtering on. But I am so grateful for all the creators that made this come alive, and that made one of my favorite pieces of art into this beautiful short. Like it's so pretty. And I'm very excited if it does get turned into a TV show, because I if I'm being honest, I don't know where it is as far as being produced. I don't know if they just had to do a short film, because it felt like it was a pilot episode, and it says pilot, so I'm going to assume it's a TV show until further notice. But if it is a pilot for a TV show, I hope they can keep the exact same crew. I hope they can keep like the quality. Just, it's heartbreaking if the quality goes down, because I love how well it did, and it is beautiful, and the way that they added things back in order to make you remember how much effort went into this is just it's so pretty. So pretty, and it's so well done, and it's phenomenal. Like, I don't have enough words for this show. Like, I didn't even go into like the lighting schemes and how it draws your attention in certain shots, but like they nailed it. Absolutely. Every piece of this is an absolute masterpiece. And I just want to congratulate the team so hard on everything that you did, because you guys should really be proud of yourself. Congratulations. Like, congratulations. You did so well. And I just want to thank every one of you. And I appreciate your guys' time. And I really want to see more from you, because I feel like this project is going to be a magnum opus of the art industry. Like, please just keep going. Please keep going. This is so well done, and I'm very proud of you guys. And I hope the art industry and animation in general, and hopefully even like the big name industry, can take notes, because this is so well done. It reminded me of like old Disney quality and beyond. So you guys should be very proud of yourselves. And thank you so very much for this entire pilot. It's it's given me a lot of faith for the community and for the industry and for like how things can be run even from your homes. Like that's the most impressive thing about this, is that it was all done online during COVID. And I'm so excited about that. That proves to me that we have a chance to like make phenomenal content at home. And thank you so very much for everything. And I hope you guys have a great day. Please check out their channels. Oh, before I go, give me just 1 second more. Let me look up the guy that I was watching his video. Manu. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. So well done. And he pointed out the fact that the Discord channel was a huge point for them in making it, and how it created this atmosphere that it was very competitive. Absolutely check out his video. I'll put it down in the description below. But he said some phenomenal things about it. I followed him for years, and it just makes me realize how many of my favorite artists actually worked on this project. And I hope that they know just how well they did. And everything about them on this project came together to make it the piece that it really deserved to be. And thank you so much to the original creator. Phenomenal work. Thank you for the director. They did so well. The director, phenomenal. From what I've heard, the notes that they gave the entire time, absolutely so well done. So I'm very proud of you guys, and thank you so much. And keep creating out there. Make sure that you're pushing yourself to get better. Make sure that you're keeping stuff like this close that inspires you, and make sure that you're progressing as an artist. If you want to make a dream happen, you can. Obviously, it's a little tricky. You need cash and you need, really talented artists, but Lackadaisy has proved exactly what we can do in this type of industry when we put our minds to it. So please go support them. Please make sure that you have some sort of like tab kept on them. Like, not in like a weird stalker way. Don't do that. But just keep it together in the back of your mind as something you want to like keep up with, because this is going to be huge when it comes out. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited for the team. I wish I could have been a part of it. I need to work on my skills a little more, but I'm very, very excited for this entire opportunity and for the entire team, for the entire show. I'm so stoked. Please keep making content. Please have a great time. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. I think we're all set up.